Om Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashibharnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvabhignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Bharade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir me sada Yenakshara samamnayam Adhigamya maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagartha Viva Sambrikto Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Namaste, welcome. So I want to clear up some things from last time. In our last class, we started off with talking about Shatru. So Shatru is a suffix we were talking about. So today we're going to be talking about these Shatru ending words, such as Sat. So we're going to be going over some exercises with Sat. And we'll also hopefully get to the next Pratipadika, which is Atman, self. Yeah. So yeah, very auspicious. Sat, Atma, Sadatma. My teacher's name Sadatma. But if people didn't know him, they said, oh, you're such a sad Atma. No, not sad Atma, Sadatma. So first of all, we started off last class and we talked about this suffix Shatru. And we started off talking about how there's Shatru becomes just the letters At. Okay, so that means there's some It letters. We were talking about this and I realized that what I said last time was completely wrong about the It letters. So let me revise that about what we were talking about the It letters. So I'm going to switch screens here so you'll see a little bit more clearly. Okay, one second. Let me pull this here. Okay, can you see the screen? No, you cannot see the screen. One second. Okay, there we go. So this is in the next book, which we'll see after we do this, finish this book 1, we'll go to book 3, right? Book 2 being Sunday. This is the 3rd book. Now, the point of this, we're not going to go into this in detail, so you don't need to read what's on the screen. Just wanted to point out that when you have a suffix, a pratyaya, It letters, there's a lot of different It letters. And there are sutras, Panini listed which are going to be the It letter. So that was one of the questions. How do you know what is an It letter? For example, Upadesha Janunasika It. It says any Anunasika vowel is It. U of Matu, right? For example. But if you think of Shatru, that R at the end is a nasalized R. Right? So it's going to be an It letter by this Sutra 132. Right? And then let's look at, just for our context here, number 7, Lashaku, Lashakavarga, at the beginning of a pratyaya is It. Okay, so it's a Sha, right? Sha, Shatru. So it's at the beginning of the pratyaya, therefore it is an it. Okay? So shakara of shatru will also be an it letter. Because it's la, sha, or karvaga at the beginning. It should say or, not and. And all these it letters are to be elided eventually, right? So that's why we get rid of shakara, that's why we get rid of rikara, and then we're left with a and takara, at. Shatra becomes at. So I wanted to clear that up. Now there was another question. What is the purpose of them? So let me try to pull that up here. 1 second. And if this is, you have no idea what we're talking about, that's okay. Some people are interested in this. So that's why I wanted to just clear that, because last time what I was talking about was not correct. Yeah, here's Shatra. Okay, perfect. Right, Shatra is a karta, right? We were saying one who does something, one who is doing something. Okay, now these letters mean something. So this is a shit pratyaya, shakara it, right? And when it has a shakara as it and it's suffixed to a dhatu, it's called sarva dhatuka pratyaya. These don't, it just, all we need to know is that it means something, right? Then this causes, because it's because it has the shit pratyaya, there's some special modifications that will take place on the anga. Okay, so Panini will tell you that when there's shit, shakara it, then there will be some special modifications for the anga. That's why it's as dhatu, but somehow it gets modified and then you get sat at the end, right? There's some modifications that take place. Here also, rikara. Rikara is also a it letter. So this is rit. Rikara is found in the pratyahara uk. Okay, now we don't need to know all this, but a suffix whose it is uk is called ugit pratyaya, and ugit pratyaya ending words also decline in a special way. Okay, so rikara gives a special, it nods to some other sutras, some other modifications that will take place. The shit also nods to some other modifications to take place. So each of these letters are meaningful. It has, I think last time I said it has something to do with chanting or something else, but it has nothing to do with that. It's more that these it letters have meaning, indicate something else, indicate some certain changes that will take place. For our context right now, we don't need to know exactly what those changes are, right? Because that'll take up the whole lesson. That's volume 3, and that was page 71. If you just want to note that down on that book, so when you do get to volume 3, that you can note. So it's volume 3, page 71 that we were referring to there. Okay, so now let's get back to where we were. So sat. So all around, we were just trying to get what is shatra. So it's sat is derived from the dhatu as, to be, to exist, and you're adding this suffix shatra. And finally, this as plus shatra, you get sat. Okay. It means one who is existing, sat. But we can add the shatra to other dhatus, and we get a different, right? So like pashyat, one who is seeing. Drish dhatu becomes pashya, one who is seeing. Dhyay, right? Dhyay dhatu plus shatra, one who is meditating. So it refers to karta, a person, an entity who is doing this action. So when I say sat, it's one who is being. Okay, one who is existing. Let's leave nasato vidyate bhavaha verse Bhagavad Gita out of this, because there it would have a certain different context and certain different meaning. So I was connecting them last time, but let's leave it out just for a little bit. Okay. Now we'll see that this declines very similar to Bhagavat or Marut. In this section here, you get this nakara added. So you get san, santo, santaha. You can chant with me. Santam, santo. And then now we're out of this section. So no more nakara, right? So then just sat plus as. So sataha. Then we can just use this, right? Then sat plus a, sata. Then takara becomes dakara, sad bhyam, sad bihi. Then back to takara, sate, sad bhyam, sad bhyaha, sataha, sad bhyam, sad bhyaha, sataha, satoho, satam, sati, satoho, and then satsu. Hey, sun, right? Just like one for first case. Hey, sun, hey, santo, hey, santaha. Oh, this is nice. Now, when my dad calls me and he says, hey, son, I'll say, yes, I am an existent being. Hey, son. I am Satswarupa. I am being. I'm existent. Okay. Now, let's look at this exercise number 40 in the back of the book. So I want to show you how this is used. So this is exercise 40, page 184. Page 184 in the back of the book. If you don't have the book and you need it, please feel free to message or email me. This is available online. But exercise 40 in the back of the book, page 184. We'll just look at a few of them. So let's look at number 1, right? Saha bhaktaha san karma yogam karoti. So let's take it a normal sentence, right? We always want to pick up a verb, right? Hopefully we know that much. We always look for the verb karoti. Okay, dhatu is kr, I think it's 8u, to do, lat lakara, what prayoga? Kartari prayoga, pratama purusha, ekavachana. So all that whole string should come, right? You first see the dhatu, then you see the pratyaya. Now, so he, she, it does something. Now, who does? You have to look for the first case. Now, there's a few first cases here. But, right, for simple, like, say he does. You can say the bhakta does as well, but let's just say, right, he does, okay? Even sun is one way. It could be being does, but being doesn't do anything. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so saha karoti. So saha, let's take up saha. What's the pratipadika of saha? Not sa. Tad, right? Tad pratipadika. So we saw the pratipadika, now we see the suffix. This is prathama vibhakti. Sorry. The pratipadika, it's sad. It's it's tad. It means it, right? Dakaranta. This is pullinga. Okay, that's all the pratipadika information. Now the suffix, it's prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam, is kartari prathama to karoti, right? He does. He does what? Karma yoga. Okay, let's pick up karma yoga. Karma yoga is the pratipadika will be karma yoga, akaranta, punlinga, right? Then the vibhakti, dvitiya vibhakti, ekavachanam, like ramam. This is karmani dvitiya to karoti. Maybe number 3, someone can do number 3. I will help them, but if someone is ready for that, okay? So you can get ready for that. So he does karma yoga. He does karma yoga. Okay, but he is described a little bit further here. Bhaktaha son. Okay, let's take up son. Okay, what's the pratipadika of son? Hopefully we even forgot. Sat. Okay, we'll say this is shatra ending, right? That particular suffix. Shatra ending. This is punlinga. Prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. And we can say kartari prathama to karoti, that's fine. Because it's connected to, it's really, yeah, that's fine. We can say that, right? It's more of an adjective in a way. More of an adjective to saha. He is being. They are indeed samanadikaranam. Again, samanadikaranam means they're pointing to one and the same entity, right? So he and son, that the one who is existing, the one who is being, is the same person, right? They're both referring to one and the same locus. Samana, adhikaram. Adhikaram means locus. So samana means same. So same locus. They're both referring to the same locus. So he who is being what? Who is existing as what? A bhakta. So this is bhakta pratipadika, akaranta punlinga. Again, prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. This is again an adjective or a predicate. This is samanadikaranam to saha, and to son also. They're all samanadikaranam to each other. Here we have 3 1-1s. So how I would translate this is he who is being a bhakta, who is existing as a bhakta, does karma yoga. Or you can say he does karma yoga while being a bhakta, while being a devotee. He, remaining as a devotee, does karma yoga. I'm just using different words that mean almost the same thing, right? He who is being or remaining or is existing as a bhakta does karma yoga. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Let me know if you even just put a question mark, even if you have any small doubt or want me to slow down in any way. Yeah. Harprasadji, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Yeah.
Can we say, yeah, it is Samanadikaranam. I understand that. But can we say Bhakta and son is Vishesha Bhava?
Yeah,
Bhava?
we can. That because it's the bhakta who is existing. Yeah. So they're Visheshana.
Yeah.
Visheshya Bhava.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. Dhanyavadaha.
And then you can take saha with these ones as uddesha videya if you want, predicate substantive.
Okay.
The substantive being saha.
Okay.
So I hope that one's clear. Now let's look at number 3. Does anybody want to do this and I can help them along? You can put your name in the chat, or I can you can raise your hand on Zoom, or yeah, Urmilaji, you want to go ahead? Yeah, okay.
So the dhatu, the Tingandam padam is pashyati.
Yeah.
Dhatu.
So it's drish dhatu, but yeah, just because it's funny.
Drish dhatu 1p. Pashyati is it is prathama purusha ekavachana.
What lakara?
Lakara kartari prayoga.
Yeah, lakara kartari prayoga. Then you said what's the purusha?
Prathama purusha ekavachana.
Perfect. So means, what's the meaning?
Sees. He's
sees.
Sees, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, now what are we looking for after that?
Then you look at the doer, karta.
Yes.
Devadattaha is the karta. Akaranta. Then prathama vibhakti ekavachana.
Yeah, and then the vibhakti artha.
Vibhakti artha is kartari to pashyati.
Yeah, kartari prathama.
Kartari prathama to pashyati.
That's perfect. So far, what do we know?
Devadatta sees.
Devadatta sees, yeah. Okay, now what does Devadatta see?
Pachantam. Somadattam pachantam. So
yep, Somadattam pachantam. Which one do you want to take first?
Somadattam.
Let's take Somadattam. Yeah, perfect.
Somadattam is again akaranta pullinga. Dvitiya vibhakti ekavachana karmani dvitiya to pashyati.
Pashyati, perfect. So far, what do we know?
Devadatta sees Somadatta.
Yeah, Devadatta sees Somadatta. That's what we know so far. Okay, now this word.
Pachantam. That means pach dhatu. Yes, no, pachantam. Yeah, pach dhatu.
Yeah, pach dhatu. Yeah.
Dhatu, and
but it's now it's a this is a noun.
This is a noun.
Okay,
yeah, it becomes a noun. Yeah.
What's the pratipadika?
Pratipadikam is pachanta.
Just pachat.
Pachat. Oh, pachat. Oh, pachat.
Like sat.
Okay.
Pachat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It becomes second. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You get this nakara addition.
Okay, pachat. I see. And then it becomes dvitiya vibhakti ekavachana karmini dvitiya tu pashyati.
Yeah. So this is confusing because we're used to seeing like anta as like being bahuvachanam, but this is actually 2-1. Right? So exactly.
Just like sun.
Just like santam.
Santam.
Santam 2-1. Panchantam. So yeah, so this is now, and then, so this is what relationship to Somadattam?
It's a Samanadhikaranam.
Samanadhikaranam. So translation?
Devadatta sees Somadatta cooking.
Yeah, who is cooking? Yeah. Perfect. That was great. So everyone can give her a round of applause. She can't hear you, but she can see that. That's great. My teacher, Medaji, would she would give us gold stars. She would put them on the board. So Devadatta sees Somadatta who is cooking. Now this is a bit confusing because actually yeah, that's fine. I won't confuse us any further. But that's great. So we can do, should we do one more? That'd be helpful. Okay. Does anybody want to do it, or shall, this one's a little bit harder. Why don't I start us off? I'll do the first part of the sentence. Everyone wants to finish, you can let me know. Okay, I can't see everyone, so you have to let me know in the chat. Okay. So let's break it up. Okay. Let's this part and then this part separately. Okay. Etad vakyam uktam. Okay, so we don't have a traditional verb in this sentence. Okay. Now, part of this is, we'll see in the next book that you can make, you can use dhatus and make nouns that have meaning like verbs. So uktam means said. It's a like karmani word, means something was said. Okay. So we're going to treat this as if it's a verb, even though it's not. Okay. And I know that's not fun for any of us, but we'll get there. Okay. We'll get there. Uktam is actually, it is a noun. It is ukta. Sorry, this is uktam. This is just like phalam or jnanam. This is napumsakalinga, prathama vibhakti ekvachanam. Okay, so uktam. Okay, so it means said, something was said. So now it's karmani. It gives the sense of karmani. Okay, so something was said. What was said? Vakyam uktam. Now, again, this is in the sense of karmani, so the karma is going to be in 1-1, right? So anyway, so vakya, this is akaranta napumsakalinga, like jnana. Akaranta napumsakalinga, prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. Karmani prathama to uktam. So the sentence, vakyam, is said. Okay. Vakya, just like jnana. It's 1-1. Vakyam, like jnanam. This is prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. This is karmani prathama to uktam. Karmani prathama to uktam. Okay, now then etad vakyam. Okay, etad, this sentence is said. Etad is 1-1 of etad. I'm not gonna, right? So it's, these two are samanadhikarana. This sentence is said. Eva means in this manner. It's an avyaya word. It does not decline. Evam, in this manner. Okay, so this sentence is said in this manner. Okay, now we have 2 words. Does anybody want to give these 2 words a shot? Pashyata bhagavata. Yeah. Harprasadji, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead. One. There we go. What's the pratipadika?
Bhagavat.
Bhagavat. And this is.
It is 3-1.
Yep. Takaranta pullinga 3-1.
Yeah.
And what's the vibhakti artha? Remember, this is a karmani, as though karmani word. Uktam is said. Now we have a 3-1.
It is kartari to uktam.
Kartari tritiya to
Yeah,
uktam.
Uktam.
So this sentence is said by Bhagavan. Okay, now do you want to go ahead and do pashyata as well?
Pashyata is, again, it will be 3-1.
Yep, so start with the Pratipadika.
Drush. No,
But
it's
Pratipadika is
Pashya.
pashyat.
Pashya.
Pashyat.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, pashyat.
Yeah. And it is kartari to uktam.
Yep. Kartari pratama to uktam.
Yeah.
So we would just want to add that this is shatra ending masculine, right?
Yes.
What's the relationship between these two words?
Oh, they are samanadhikarana.
Yeah, I mean, they're referring to the same
person. Yeah.
Okay, so let's translate this. Can you help me with that? So
evam, in this manner,
yeah.
Bhagavan.
So start with this part.
Okay, etad vakyam uktam. This sentences are said.
Okay.
By Bhagavan.
Who is
looking.
Yeah, who is looking or seeing, exactly.
Yeah.
And we can even say this sentence is said by Bhagavan, who is seeing in this manner. Like he's seeing in this manner. So we can take evam in multiple places, depending on the context.
Okay.
That's perfect. Great. Okay. So we won't get into, we'll just do this last one. Since we only have 2 more minutes, we won't get into a new shabda today. Okay. Vishayan dhyayataha sangaha upajayate. Now this is purely from Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So this is not, these are not words that we, maybe know off the top of our heads, but because we're studying Bhagavad Gita simultaneously, these are sentences. So upajayate. We know what jayate. Upajayate is very similar. Upajayate. So jayate is actually jan dhatu. Jan dhatu becomes jay. Maybe I don't know the gana of jan. We'll have to find that out. Jan dhatu, to be born. Right? Lat lakaraha. You see the yakara and atmanepada, so we're going to presume this is karmani prayoga. Oh, it's 4p. Okay, 4p is okay. 4a is a problem. 4a, then you don't know the difference. It's 4a. Okay, it's 4a. So that's a problem. We don't know if it's karmani or kartri. It can be either. So is born. Something is born. Sangaha upajayate. Sangaha. So sanga, akaranta, pullinga, prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam, kartari prathama to upajayate. I feel like it's karmani, like the way that you can't born something. You can't born something. Something is born, right? So it's karmani prathama to upajayate. So the sangha means association, attachment. Attachment is born. Attachment is born how? Dhyayataha vishayan. So dhyayataha, which cases can dhyayataha be? Since we don't have much time. Can you tell me in the chat which cases? So we know it can't be 1, 3. 1, 3. Or yeah, it can't be the first 1, 3. Yeah, it can be 2, 3, 5-1, 6-1. Let's take a, right, there's no object of born. So it's not going to be the sixth case. It's not born. It could be the attachment of. Let's take fifth case. I don't know if that context meant attachment from. Let me see. Attachment of. Attachment from. Let's take from. Okay, let's take fifth case. Dhyayata. So dhyayat, right? This is shatra ending, pullinga, means one who is meditating. So attachment is born from meditating, or let's actually, I think sixth case might work better. For one who is meditating, right? For one who is meditating. For one who is meditating, this is shashti, sambandhe shashti to sangha. And then Vishayan. Vishayan's interesting, right? This is it's Dutiya Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. It's Karmani Dutiya. But Karmani Dutiya to what? Karmani Dutiya to Dhyayataha. Right? Meditating upon the objects. So attachment is born for the one who is meditating upon the objects. So do you see how these two are connected? This is a Dutiya Vibhakti, this is karma. It's an object. Object of what? Not object of being born. It's an object of the meditation, of the meditating. One who is meditating upon the object. So attachment is born for the one who is meditating upon objects. Okay. I know I rushed that last one just because our time is up. And we'll continue with this, and we'll continue with we'll go to Atma and Brahman in our next class. Okay. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. We'll see more about Sat in Bhagavad Gita.